Well, Murph, after 9 straight games, the Yankees are 9-0. 9 straight wins, big winning streak for the Yankees. What do you think about the Bronx Bombers? Are they back?
Dude, they're back at full effect, right? And the lineup's not even at its full strength right now, right? We've been churning out different lineups seemingly every game, and every lineup seems to be working. And as long as we got the same core group of guys in it,
Mhm.
and right now the pitching's been huge for us. I mean, about a week ago we weren't sure who's going to start every fourth, fifth day. We were hitting rock bottom with that. We were like, "Ugh." And now look at us, like the rotations kept us afloat. The pen has seemingly bounced back. It's not perfect, mind you, but they're doing way better than they were 2 weeks ago. The hitting has seemingly come to life. Games are still kind of interesting, but for the most part, we're doing it big. Doing it big.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, like Garrett Cole the other day shoved. You got
Really
Nestor
well.
Cortez shoved versus
Nasty Nestor.
Nestor's mustache, baby. Montgomery had a great start. Tyon had a great start. The bullpen is holding up besides like the home runs. I don't like the home runs.
Yeah.
And Zach Britton's kind of iffy right now for the Yankees.
Yeah, he's better than he was again 2 weeks ago. Like the Field of Dreams was like the reality of Zach Britton. It's like, yeah, we can't put him in a close at any point at this point, but he's starting to work his way back, and I think that's the most important part. He's getting back there.
He needs to rebuild that confidence that he had. He is a very good reliever. He just needs to remind himself of that.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Gallo having a pretty good few games for the Yankees. I mean, we dominated those Red Sox. Nice, quick.
Yeah, it was pretty easy. I don't know if they really struggled. I mean, they were kind of tight games, but like for the most part, I didn't think at any point the boys were going to lose. I was worried about the Heaney start, and I was like, dude, we need this win, Heaney. Like, you got to find a way. And then he gave us 7 innings to shut out, and the one home run he gave up, because of course he's got to give a home run like every start.
Yeah.
The one home run he gave up to Bogarts was like this far off the plate. Like Bogarts just went out there and he all arms just slapped it over the fence.
Flicked it.
Yeah. I was like, what? That doesn't make sense.
When he gave up the home run to him, I'm like, this is going to be a long game.
That's what I thought. I thought for sure. I was like, he had him 0-2, 2 outs, and dude flicked it and got it over the fence. I was like, oh, no, this is it. This is over.
And then, like, I kind of just wanted to come on here and talk about the rise of the man whose position probably isn't destined to stay, but the squid, Andrew Velasquez, the Bronx native.
Yeah.
He's tearing the cover off the ball for the Yankees and playing amazing defense. And he's a switch hitter, dude. He's doing it on both sides of the ball. No,
yeah, he's doing it big. He's doing it big. It's awesome to see it, the young Bronx kid grow up, get the opportunity to start in New York and get the opportunity to do it big for the Yankees. And he came up huge, his first major league home run in Yankee Stadium, driving it to left field. Defense has been really great. I think it's been huge for us in every way, shape, and form.
He has, 100% confidence in himself at shortstop.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. That's exactly what we need.
Yeah. Is he done once Torres comes back? Done?
No, yeah. I'm sorry.
Is he getting sent down?
He's getting. I don't know if he can get sent down.
Because Tyler Wade and
I think he just gets DFA'd.
DFA'd. Wow, that sucks.
Yeah. Because you got to think Gio's still got to come up, and then Torres, and then we got Luke Voigt, we got Higgy on the roster, we still got Odor. Like, reality is Tyler Wade probably doesn't even make this postseason roster just because of how many guys.
He's getting the cover off the ball. He's hitting 270 now. He's been.
Yeah, I think Tyler Wade's very important to the team, and I think what he's doing is huge. So,
and he's got the speed too.
Yeah, he's been really good. Like I told you, remember we text back and forth and be like, if Tyler Wade could figure out how to hit, he'd probably be an elite shortstop. And here he is. He's finally figured out, hey, I don't have to swing for the fence. Just put it in play, and good things are happening.
Yeah.
He's beating the shift. Teams are gonna maybe have to consider not shifting against him. Although these are not the prettiest of hits, but I think they're enough to maybe warrant teams shifting back a little bit, and hopefully that opens up more parts of the field for him. I don't know, but he's been playing really well.
at this point, like for the Yankees, like it's been like whatever gets the job done. Like you have like Luke Voigt going like 4 for 4. You have like Rizzo coming off the bench for a pinch hit or starting the game, and then Luke Voigt coming in for DH kind of thing. Like we have Aaron Judge in center field. We're getting the job done no matter what, and we're putting a good like it's a good lineup if you when you think about it. But we're still missing a Gio Urshela who's amazing, and the Torres who was coming off of being red hot and just got unlucky with one unlucky slide, you know. So the Yankees, I think, are in a very good position to push up against those Rays, because the Rays, their schedule is not getting any easier. They play the Orioles, and I think they got a few hard games coming up. So
we get big off the Orioles. I mean, they just took. Did they win the series against the White Sox? I don't even know. I saw they won 2.
2 of 3.
2 out of 3, yeah. So I'm starting to think the White Sox aren't real, by the way. I don't know if I've seen them beat any elite team, to be completely honest with you.
Their biggest win streaks are against their like division and series wins are against the division.
Yeah.
It's like the AL Central is just like, I'm sorry, but you guys.
That's a weak division. That is such a weak division.
Because we exposed their bullpen. We exposed Kimbrel and Hendricks. Like we made them look. We made their bullpen not look that good on the grand.
They're elite closers. We made look pretty bad, which is really surprising. Like I said, like that's just something that I never expected to happen. That we would go and say, "Hey, Hendricks, we're gonna put 6 on you."
Yeah, of all people, I was like, yeah, we're just gonna call it in, you know, next series, and then we won 2 of 3. You know, it's really awesome to see that. You gotta think about it though, like. You think we can take the division?
Yes, I think we can get it. We can get the division. The magic number, I think, is going to be that 3, because the last 3 games we're going to be playing the Rays. So if we can get the deficit down to 3 somehow, some way, and I think we really can, it's going to be a really big come down the wire. I mean, I think we can do it. I think, though, they just got to buckle in. I'm not saying that they can't afford to lose a game here and there, because this is baseball. They're going to lose a game. They're not going to win out the rest of the year. If they did, that'd be huge. I wouldn't complain, you know?
Yeah.
But realistically, you got to think they're coming up against a hot Braves team. The Braves have won 8 straight. You know, we played 2 against them. Realistically, you have to split that series at least. And then we play the Angels, I believe.
We play I think we got to California, right?
Yeah, we play the Angels and the Oakland. I think Oakland's going to be the most important series, because if you could take 3 out of 4 or even sweep them, you bury them. And then that kind of assures that you're at least getting a wild card at this point.
Yeah.
If you bury Oakland to like 4 games, 3.5 games, I think you pretty much solidify the wild card for yourself. And I think you put yourself in a really good position to like focus on the division.
This postponed game alone kind of screws us. Because we have like 20 straight games in September, and our one off day was thrown that game. They knew it was going to be a hurricane up here in New York. They just could have played a doubleheader yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know what was up about that. I was trying to read. I didn't finish the article, but I don't know their reasoning. Probably just tickets. At the end, they probably like they won more money, and that's a gate that they're going to lose. So they're not about it.
They lose a full gate of 60,000 fans coming into the Yankees. It's fine, you know.
Whatever, bro.
What do you think about Luis Gil being sent down?
I mean, that was going to happen because he was a COVID replacement player. They're kind of playing with house money, you know. He's not. I think he's on the 40-man, but he's not an official roster spot, you know. So I don't even know if he gets service time. I think maybe he gets just a day. So they're saving money. They're saving service time. Yeah. And it's a win-win. And they can play with it. They can bring him up and down as much as they want. I think he'll probably be on the roster to stay, though, would be my guess after his next start. I think he's going to start one of the Braves games, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. That should be fun to watch him go against that lineup. First National League game I think he's throwing, right?
Yeah. So we'll see if he can hit, too, I guess.
Yeah.
Love it.
The only thing is, like, the Yankees look good, but I'm just worried like they'll get a little too ahead of themselves and cocky. I just don't want them to get too cocky going forward because
I'm just worried about
going.
You know, I'm worried about feeding all the mouths, having all these mouths to feed, It's a good problem to have, but at the same time, it is a significant problem. And I think when you got guys like Odor, who's going to, he still wants to play, he still wants to start at the end of the day. What happens when Gio and Torres come back? What happens when guys like Wade can't get consistent playing time anymore? Velasquez, unfortunately, he's probably going to get DFA'd if he doesn't get optioned. I don't know if that's a possibility. I have no idea how his contract's laid out.
He's on a minor league deal. Like he's played for the Rays and the Orioles. Like he's a starter for the Orioles in 2020. So like the thing is like he's a career minor. He's a minor leaguer for like us, but for other teams he's a major leaguer.
Yeah.
So he may not take that option.
And he might have put himself in a really good spot to go find another team at this point, because he's been doing it big for the Bronx. Although, his average may not show it. He's been coming up big. He's shown spurts of speed, his ability to steal bases, run the bases properly. Defense is elite.
Yankees stealing bases all of a sudden has been like a major key. I haven't seen the Yankees steal bases at this rate in a long time, man.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time.
Very long.
I can't remember when they've been this aggressive on the base pad. Like, the Yankees have always been slow. Like, they've always been like that team that, like, we're going to beat you with home runs. We're not going to beat you with the small ball. And I think this team has kind of been polar opposite, which is weird because we still have a lot of home run hitters on this team. It just feels like, though, that they're doing it with the nickel and dime, the base hits, the doubles. They're stealing bases, like you said, which is huge. That's something we just haven't had.
Which you make the pitchers worry about a guy on base, but then you got to worry about a guy that's going to send the ball 440, at the dish. So that's big for the Yankee hitters. This is getting the pitcher's head a little bit more.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? You got the Anthony Rizzo, Luke Voit situation coming in this offseason. Are you in your mind? Are you trading Voit, or you letting you're letting Rizzo walk?
If I'm being completely honest with you, I think I lean towards keeping Rizzo because I think that lefty bat is so important, and I think just having two lefties who could put the ball out of the park right now is causing teams to like really second guess their moves, right? I think the only thing you really need is another solid lefty hitting either outfielder or possibly a shortstop. If you could find a shortstop that hits lefty, that'd be huge.
Yeah.
Or if you could find that lefty hitting center fielder or switch hitter center fielder, that'd be huge. So, yeah, I think I lean towards keeping Rizzo. I love Luke Voit. I think he's a gamer. I think he's perfect for New York in the sense of the attitude, the grind he likes to bring to the game. That savage energy, if you will. But I think we're better off keeping a lefty bat at first. So unless Voit can learn how to switch hit.
Right. But here's what I'm saying.
Go on.
You can keep both of them, but you got to trade Stan because I'm sorry.
That would be the only fix. Yeah.
He's hitting better when he's in the field, but I really don't want him out there in the field, to be quite honest.
I'd put it this way: I'd rather have him in the outfield any day of the week over a guy like Clint Frazier and Andujar at this point.
Yeah.
So
the Yankees got to trade them now. Like, they have to trade them both because you got to find.
I think you just have to DFA them both. What's Clint worth? He might not even play another inning of baseball again. They're saying the vision problems. Like you heard he had a setback. The vision problems came back.
Yeah.
They don't know what the issues are. He could very much be out of the game next year.
Yeah.
Because the problem is he's going to be getting paid like $3 million, upwards of $3 million, and why would you pay a guy $3 million to be, a minor league outfielder?
Yeah, we don't want him sitting down there.
He doesn't have a spot on the major league team. He just doesn't. Not especially with the acquisition of Gallo. And I think Florial, I think you give him a shot. Maybe you give Allen a shot. I think Allen's probably, when he was with us, he was balling out as well. So, and he's a lefty. So
he's the everyone's forgetting we had Allen and he was balling out for us 2 weeks before all this stuff happened. So it's just a matter of I think Florial and Allen have a spot before Frazier and Andujar at this point.
Yeah.
And I would rather see Florial make it with the Yankees than all three of those guys,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and Duhar and Clint, their values are like an all-time low. Like it's really bad. Like they're a player to be named later at this point. That's how
Yeah.
bad the value is. So it's rough especially considering like if you looked at the beginning of this year, people were like, your only real trade value is Duhar and or Clint, and even then it's not great.
Yeah.
And to be fair to them, they've been pretty bang on with it. You know, they haven't been great all year. They haven't been great for a while. So
Mhm.
it's a rough one. You know, I feel bad for those two. I really thought those two were gonna find a way to break on in this team again, especially Clint. I was really rooting for Clint this year. I think he really was a crucial part of this team at one point, and he just fell off for us. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, like he came up big for us last year.
Yeah.
And I wanted him this year to be a part of the team, but it's just not going to work out this team. I'd rather Gallo, and I think Gallo will be a Yankee for a long time, just
Mm-hmm.
because like he loves the Yankees and what he's done for the Yankees thus far defensively at the plate. It's good to see a lefty bat in Yankee Stadium, and like teams have to change their full approach that they've had all year long against the Yankees and
Mm-hmm.
saying there's no lefties. We're just gonna rock our righties and not worry about it. Now there's lefties. You got to worry about it now.
Yeah. So
And now there's anyone and everybody's figuring out a way how to hit the ball now.
yeah. So yeah, like you said, it's huge. Like everyone's producing 1 through 9. You know, even at times when you look at our last three guys, you know, you have Velasquez, you got Higgy, you got Wade. You know, you see those three guys and you just think like 1, 2, 3 inning. But even then, they're finding ways to get on base. They're finding ways to put the ball in play and do big things for us.
Yeah, like Voit during like this 9-game win streak's hitting like 600. Wade's slapping like 340. Velasquez is crushing like 300 throughout this, and it's just fun to see the young guys step up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also sad to see them go because they're not going to have a spot in.
Yeah, I mean,
days.
it's just the hard reality. Like,
Yeah,
they'll be fine. I think they may try to like get away so we can wait till the September call-ups to try to get a guy like Torres back on the roster possibly. But even then, I think someone's still got to go. And I think they would really like to give a guy like Ridings and a guy like Allen probably in the September call-up. So
is
we'll
Ridings
see.
back down?
Yeah, he's been back down because he was another COVID call-up. So I don't know how they're gonna MacGyver this whole bullpen and all these guys who I think deserve playing time, but it's just so hard to find.
And
playing time
Rodriguez
for them.
is still up, right? The lefty, Joely.
Yeah, he's still up. Yeah, I think he's still up. He probably.
Peralta doing big things for the Yankees too. The guy that we didn't want because of Walkman. And
Yeah.
He made a big defensive play versus the Red Sox, and he's been eating innings for us in the field of dreams and against the Red Sox. So it's just one of those things where it's just like everyone and everybody stepping up, and the guys that you didn't think and didn't want on the roster are figuring it out.
I think Odor is like the poster boy for that. I think he's the guy people look at and they're like, I guess he's here now. And then, he's probably been slowly growing to that fan favorite. He's still a little fireball all over the place, but like he's been huge for us. His versatility, being able to play second, third, just that lefty bat who calls timeout and takes a home run away from himself. But
I was so mad.
that was hilarious.
And then he gets punched out on a bad pitch, and he's like,
just terrible stuff, But it is what it is. The boys are streaking. The boys are doing real well. I mean, like I said, if they can get that magic number down to like 3, they give themselves a really good shot. I think 2 is probably like the more safer bet, but yeah, if they can get around 3, it'd be pretty big for the program.
Oh yes. Well, the Yankees are indeed back. Yankees win 9 straight. Yankees game tonight is delayed because of the hurricane, but big things are coming for the Bronx, and I think they are back. More than definitely back. So
they are back, and the Mets are dead.
And the Mets are dead. 7 games back of first place. And Jacob deGrom is I hate to see him go, but it's just one of those things that you just got to report.
Yeah, I would have really liked to see him pitch this whole season. The way he was dealing, he had a 0.62. I think he probably could have finished. The way he was pitching, he probably could have finished under a 1, realistically.
Yeah. But I mean, like when you're throwing 102 every pitch and you have a wipeout slider and changeup event, like it's like Syndergaard. It's like your arm's eventually gonna go.
Yeah.
So
That's what happened with Glasnow too.
yeah, and like I'm not like Glasnow. I think it was like adapting back to not using anything of the substances because he
Well,
did.
I heard he had problems since 2019. This is what I've heard. I've heard
Oh.
he's been dealing with it since 19, and he was kind of like it was kind of a Tanaka situation where they're like, as long as you can manage the pain, you go out there and you throw as much as you want. You know, and he's just throwing until he runs out of bullets, and he finally ran out.
Yeah, which you hate to see it, but he'll get it. I think Glasnow will be back and better. But
yeah, I think he's gonna be throwing some cheese. I think it's just gonna be a matter of finding that command again and finding the feel for the pitches.
I don't think it's gonna be for the Rays though, because
yeah, that's the interesting thing because he's gonna be on arbitration now, so the Rays could theoretically not offer him a contract and just let him walk, which would be very, very dumb, by the way.
Because they've done it with like they got like they pissed Snell off. They traded away their one pitcher in Rich Hill, who's not that good anyway. But they just got Archer back today, and half of their pitchers are on the IL.
Yeah,
so it's just like.
But they still find a way to beat the White Sox 9-0.
Yes, I don't understand that. I don't.
Sense.
I just think teams panic at the Trop.
And the Rays play the mind games, dude. They have the biggest mind games of all time. They just hey, we don't need a starter. We're putting our third baseman to pitch. Good luck.
And then the team's like, we don't have a game plan. There's no step.
We don't know what to do. And then it's like the Rays are essentially what we were. They're home run or nothing. They feast off the home runs, and if they don't get a home run, they lose because they strike out 20 times a game. But those 10 times they don't strike out, or 7 times or whatever, they're hitting home runs. It makes no sense.
Oh yeah. But and another team to go into this NL West situation again. The Dodgers are looking filthy now. They've also won.
Yeah, that's not surprised. Like, look at their roster. They're like the deepest roster in baseball.
Deepest roster, and they're screwing over the Mets. I mean, the Mets, the Dodgers, and the Giants we're just ruining the Mets this season now.
I mean, everyone's ruining the Mets, dude. Let's be honest. Even I think Miami has a winning record against the Mets at this point. Let's be honest here. It's been brutal for the Mets, okay? Everything and anything that can go Mets is going Mets.
I mean, I said it in the beginning of the year. They're gonna do. They did okay in the first half.
I think they did better than okay. I think they were pretty red hot. I think the problem is, certain guys weren't red hot for them, but they were winning games. They were streaking really hard, and dude, they were hand delivered the division. I'm sorry. Like, this division was wide open for them. The Nats gutted their roster. The Phillies, they weren't hitting, and their bullpen is awful. And then you got the Braves, who had lost Acuna all year. They don't really have a start like an ace.
They lost Ozuna too to his idiot being an idiot. And then like the Marlins are gonna Marlins, know?
So it's like they were handed the division. They're like, listen, all you got to do is win 87 games, and you probably win this division. 85 games, you probably get this division.
Yeah.
And here they are.
Now it's like I think the Braves are in first, right?
It goes Braves, Phillies, and then Mets. And the Mets are third. Like, I think the Phillies have got like a 2 or 3 game lead over the Mets.
Mm-hmm. It's just, New York Met fans, I'm so sorry. It's just.
I mean, they had all the talent in the world, and I think they're probably going to be a way better team next year, but it's just going to be a matter of figuring out that roster. I think they're probably going to have to let certain guys go. And I'd be interested to see if they decide to keep Baez long term. That'd probably be my biggest question mark for them. Because to me, it doesn't make much sense to keep a guy like Baez around. But at the same time, I guess it depends what you want to do with McNeil also. Because I think one of the guys for sure gone, Conforto, I would imagine is for sure gone. Because I think he's had a horrible year for them. And they got so much outfield logjam going on that they probably be fine letting him go.
Which, as a Met fan, I would be upset about.
Yeah,
because he's like a franchise player. like
In theory, yeah, he has the makeup.
He's the lefty bat. He's been there he was there for the World Series. Like I think he's one of the last, like him and McNeil are like one of the few last guys part of that World Series team besides the guys in the bullpen. You know?
Maybe, yeah. I mean,
Which is at the end of the day, it's kind of bad. And then you got like Lindor and McNeil not gelling. Like,
yeah, that's been a really bad dynamic. That's why I think that's kind of awkward. Like, it's almost like you either gotta be like settle it or you gotta find a way to move McNeil. I don't know what the deal is with those two, if they settle it or not. It doesn't seem like it to me. It seems like there's still like the culture's not there for this team yet. But obviously, year one of the new ownership, they can obviously get way better next year. Like, they're gonna get some guys back. It's just gonna be a decision of like the personnel they decide to bring back, and what they do with like Stroman, with Walker. Is Walker multi-year?
I think he's a 2-year.
2 years, so they still got Walker for another year.
And then Syndergaard, Syndergaard, they've have a lot of teams are predicting him to go to the Angels.
That'd be huge for the Angels.
I really do believe that the Angels will pursue this Shrek out of him because, like,
that'd be interesting. I wonder if they would pay him a lot though. Like, would they come out the gates with like, "Hey, we'll pay you ace level money"? You think?
I don't think they'll go ace level, but I think they've been going after every starter that there's finally like a big gun, a possible big gun in Syndergaard. I think they'll go after him. The Angels. I keep on saying A's, but I think the Angels will go after him. But like if they lose DeGrom and Tommy John, they don't have him next year. They lose Syndergaard. Now you have your rotation is looking Stroman, Walker.
Does DeGrom need Tommy John?
They said possibly he's going to need Tommy John. It's he's done for the year, but it's elbow inflammation.
Yeah.
So like that underlying.
If I know DeGrom, if it's not absolutely necessary, he's probably going to pitch through it.
Yeah.
He's going to rehab all summer. He's going to pitch through it. And I think that's going to be very important for the Mets because if he goes down with Tommy John, I think you're in trouble. You're probably in trouble, because like you said, the rotation's not going to look great. And you have to bring back Stroman. He's not a for sure thing. Remember, he only signed a qualifying offer, I think.
Yeah.
So
he's
going to want money.
Special. He's not that special. He has a 2.84, but he's not that special.
He's going to want money, though. He's for sure going to want money. He's going to want that at least number 2 money,
Yeah, but ain't no number 2.
It'd be interesting to see if the Yankees would approach a Syndergaard.
Oh, a Syndergaard. I thought you were going to say
not a Stroman.
No, I don't want that.
I think that bridge is burnt. I think the fact that the Yankees didn't even attempt to trade for him, he was kind of butthurt about it, even though there was no shot we were ever going to get him.
He was very butthurt about it. And I'm like, I know, like, congrats, you were a Met fan growing up that you kindly showed on Instagram, but like we on Twitter, like, we don't care. We'll go if I'm sorry, we didn't trade for you. Like, don't get butthurt. Sorry.
It was one of those things where like the Blue Jays were going to make us pay a premium because we're in the division, so it didn't make sense for us to go trade for him. But then the Mets obviously traded him for like nothing, and that's why it was like one of those things. He was like, why wouldn't you go get me?
It's like to trade for him would have been like to trade for him and now all the problems that he's causing for the Mets with like qualifying offers and like asking for money and I kind of don't want his social media presence either. Like, and his problems, in my opinion, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to see if the Yankees would take a look at Syndergaard and see. I think the most important thing for Syndergaard is somehow finding a way to pitch major league innings this year. I think that's the biggest thing. I think there's rumor that he might come back and he might be a reliever, and if that's the case, then he needs to come out and shove if he has any interest of, not signing a 1-year deal. And he wants to go somewhere and get a big year deal, which
I think he'll get like a max, like a 3 to 4 year contract to a team.
I think maybe 2. Like, again, this is a guy who
comes out and subs this year.
Yeah, but like you got to think he's relieving. So like it depends how many relief innings he gives. Like if he pitches maybe 2 innings of relief for like an outing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. I don't know if he can actually pitch his way into a 4-year contract this year. I think if I'm a team thinking of signing him, other than the Angels, I think the Angels should definitely give him a 4-year deal because they're the Angels. They need pitching more than they need to breathe at this point. they drafted 20 pitchers in their. It's ridiculous. Like
Literally.
20 picks, 20 pitchers.
Their top prospects are all pitchers, and there's like 2 catchers in the mix. Like
they're literally like, please, one of these guys have to pan out. Like we can't go down this way. So we'll see. I mean, yeah, I'm really curious to see what his offseason looks like. Because not a lot of top guns can be on the market. Like, you got to think Gosman's probably re-signing at this point. Because they're just pitching they're doing so well there in San Francisco. And
I think he's winning him or Burns is winning the Cy Young in the NL.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
and he's going back there. And then I think some players may just go to San Fran in this offseason. They'll go after a few guys.
Yeah, they'll probably go after, I'd say, for sure, some pen help. And
they could even go after Story.
They re-signed Crawford, but I wonder if they could just move him to third. They could move Story to third. Who's their third baseman right now?
Longo.
Yeah, they could move Story to third, easy.
Or if anything, you put Crawford at second and you put Story. But they actually they have Mauricio Dubon and Marco Luciano, who are like top guns prospects that have been talked about forever. So I think they would rather stick to their own than go out. They'll probably just get pitching then, bullpen help.
Yeah. I think if they can rearm on the pitching, I think they'll be just fine. Maybe go out and get another star, like you said. Who knows? But so far, they're looking pretty good. I mean, I would have never predicted they'd come out and be this good, be this hot. I don't think anybody would have.
Yeah.
And they are hanging on the division, and my Padres are sliding out of the playoffs real quick. It's actually concerning.
Very, very.
The Reds are right on their heels.
Are they in the NL Central first place, or is it the Brewers?
The Brewers are first place, and then the Reds are like right behind them, and they're like right behind the Padres in the wild card.
Oh wow, that NL playoffs are going to be fun to watch. AL playoffs is going to be pretty distinct. Who's going to get in, who's not getting in. Yeah,
I think. Put it this way: if I'm the Yankees at this point in time, I'm not worried about anybody in the wild card.
Yeah,
I'm not. I think we match up really well against the A's as long as we don't have to play in the Coliseum. And I think we've been matching up with the Red Sox good recently, but they've had our number all year, so that could flip on a dime like that, especially one game. So,
sad to say, but like if we do have to face off the Athletics, Chris Bassett got hit in the head the other day. He's out probably for the rest of the season. He had some major. I had a cheekbone fracture. They have Caprillion. They have.
Did Caprillion get hurt recently?
He may have gotten hurt last.
I think he's on the IL. I think he's
last
on
series. So they have Mania, who we've beaten and done bad against before.
Yeah.
And they don't have Luzardo anymore, who gave us troubles in the past. So.
Yep. So.
It's just there. We just have to worry about Olsen and Marte, and that's about it.
Yeah, we got to keep that lineup down. That lineup is sneaky good. I mean, they'll find a way to rip some hits. They got some dominant lefties over there, especially Olsen. So we'll see. I mean, they could give us problems, especially if we end up having to play in the Coliseum. I think that'd be the worst case scenario, having to play in the Coliseum.
Oh yeah,
that nightmare of a place. Just as bad as the Trop.
Oh yes. Well, Murph, I do think the Yankees' playoff hopes are very good. And I think the division is in sight if we continue at this rate. It is very much in sight. The Rays are not going to be able to keep up with their schedule, I believe.
I hope. I can only pray, dude.
I hope. We hope and pray. But, Murph, I do got to cut us short. I gotta head out of here. So, thank you, Murph, for joining me today. Thank you all for watching. If you've enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and enjoy some baseball and Yankee baseball. Later.